France in crisis. Why protesters want Macron to resign. Why 5 prime ministers in 5 years. France, the country of revolutions, strikes, and political drama, is once again in turmoil. Streets are blocked, transport networks are paralyzed, and crowds are chanting one powerful demand: Macron, resign. But what's really behind these massive protests? Why have Emmanuel Macron's governments been so unstable? And how did France cycle through 5 prime ministers in such a short time? Let's dive deep into the story shaking Europe's second-largest economy. 1. The spark: austerity measures. It all started with the government's controversial budget plan. To tackle rising deficits, Macron's administration proposed spending cuts, tax hikes, and even the removal of some public holidays. For millions of French workers, these cuts feel like a direct hit on their livelihoods, especially in a country that fiercely defends workers' rights. 2. A movement takes shape, bloquons tout. In response, unions, students, and grassroots organizations launched a movement called bloquons tout, which literally means block everything. They've organized nationwide strikes, transport blockades, and massive rallies. Train stations, airports, and highways are being disrupted as anger spreads. 3. Deeper economic frustration. But this isn't just about one budget. Years of economic pressure, rising inflation, stagnant wages, and growing inequality have left many feeling abandoned by the political elite. For protesters, the austerity plan was simply the final straw. 4. Macron's leadership under fire. Critics accuse President Macron of governing from the top down, bypassing meaningful public debate. His past attempts at reform, like pension changes, have sparked major unrest before. Many French citizens now see him as disconnected from ordinary people. 5. A weak parliamentary hand. Macron's political troubles are compounded by a weak parliamentary position. After recent elections, his centrist alliance lost its strong majority in the National Assembly. That means every reform, especially unpopular ones, faces fierce resistance from both left-wing and right-wing opposition. 6. The Prime Minister problem. This political gridlock has created a revolving door at the Prime Minister's office. In just 5 years, France has seen 5 different heads of government. Some were forced out after losing parliamentary confidence votes. Others became too unpopular to push reforms forward. Each time, Macron replaced them in an attempt to reset his presidency. 7. Public anger targets the president. While prime ministers come and go, Macron remains the constant figure at the top. For many protesters, swapping prime ministers is just political theater. It doesn't address their grievances. That's why chants demanding Macron's resignation now echo through the streets of Paris, Marseille, and Lyon. 8. A fragmented political landscape. The instability also reflects a deeply fragmented political scene. On one side, you have a resurgent far right, led by Marine Le Pen's National Rally. On the other, a growing far-left movement led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon. The center ground, Macron's base, is shrinking, making compromise nearly impossible. 9. Historical context. France's culture of protest. France has a long history of using strikes and protests to shape politics, from the May 1968 student uprisings to the Yellow Vest movement just a few years ago. Demonstration is woven into the country's political culture. But this time, analysts say, the anger feels broader and deeper. 10. International repercussions. These protests aren't just a domestic issue. France is a major player in the EU and on the world stage. Political instability in Paris can shake European markets, disrupt EU policymaking, and weaken Macron's credibility as a global statesman. 11. Macron's gamble replacing prime ministers. By cycling through prime ministers, Macron hopes to diffuse tension without stepping down himself. It's a high-risk strategy. Too many reshuffles make him look weak. But doing nothing could inflame the protests further. 12. What's next for France? Will Macron back down on the austerity measures? Could snap elections or another government reshuffle calm the anger? Or will these protests grow into something even larger, perhaps a full political crisis that reshapes French politics for a generation. One thing is certain: France's turmoil is far from over. Its citizens have a long history of demanding accountability, and they're not afraid to take their struggle to the streets. What do you think? Can Macron weather this storm? Or has his presidency reached a breaking point? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of global events.